Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl LaContier, and today I want to jump right into it and talk about a topic that I have been discussing a lot with the people around me. And this topic is about being single. And is it possible to actually be happy if you're single? I think for single people, this is probably like a no-brainer, right? Your life is truly what you make it. But sometimes I think that there is this thing in society that really puts pressure on people to be in relationships, and this thing tells us that if we don't have someone in our lives, in the absence of having a significant other, can we truly live a valuable and happy life? I'm a research person. I like to read a lot, and I like to read a lot of scientific research articles. And there have been a growing amount of studies researching single people and kind of getting a feel for the quality of their life. And this video is not to go back and forth and tell you which one is better, being single or in a relationship. I think there are definitely pros and cons to both sides, and really you have to evaluate your life and see what works best for you. But as a single person, I really want to talk to other people and encourage them that if you're feeling down and out and miserable about single, I just feel like you're doing it wrong, because there are a lot of ways that you can enjoy being single. You can have a fulfilling and happy life if you're single. Um, and let's get into some of the ways. Let's go ahead and just get into some of the advantages of being single and how it can enhance your life. So one of the big things that I have discovered is that with single people, you have more ability or more time to get out and travel and see the world. This doesn't mean that people in relationships don't do it, but I think the difference is that when you're single, you can just get up and go. I mean, if next week you say you want to go out of the country, as long as you have everything in order financially and otherwise, you can literally get up and go. You don't have to plan around someone else's schedule. So, I mean, if you're single and you need something to do, think about some places that you always wanted to visit and try to get a travel bucket list. I mean, and it doesn't even have to be anywhere extravagant. It could be somewhere 30, 40 minutes away, just something new to see. I think that as a person, period, traveling definitely enhances your perspective of the world. So, single people, if you're bored and you need something to do, start looking up travel groups or travel destinations and get your butt out there and go see some things. Another great way that being single can enhance your life is it can be very beneficial as far as having a social life. Once again, that's not to say that people that are in relationships don't have social lives, but studies show that people in relationships, their social lives tend to decrease because what happens is they tend to focus more on their partner or their families. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that if that's what you want to do. But if you're single, you do have the advantage where you can find different interests, groups, hobbies, and you can connect with people. Or maybe you like to go out and party. That's being social. So you can go to the bar, you can go to the club, you can just go and do different things. So if you're single and you really don't have a fulfilling social life, I would encourage you to try to work on enhancing your social life. And I completely feel for my people that are single and have social anxiety. I have social anxiety as well. But try to find activities and events that won't trigger you so much, and take baby steps if you do have social anxiety. Don't let that be an excuse to not live your best life, because you can overcome social anxiety. So I did want to say that for the single people that may suffer from social anxiety, and it's hard for you to get out there. Um, Another great advantage of being single is that a lot of times single people may have a little more extra time to spare as far as assisting with family. And maybe you may have a family member that's elderly or disabled, or maybe you have a sibling or someone that needs assistance with their children. As a single person, If you don't have other responsibilities like a partner or kids yourself, you do have more time to enrich your relationships with family. And let me just tell you, the older I get, the more I realize that family is so important. So don't just look at this particular example and say, oh, no, I do believe it's important to, if you can, to definitely spend time with family and to build those relationships, because a lot of times, even if you have a relationship, those things can go wrong, and for the most part you should be able to count on your family. And if you can't, if you don't have a lot of family members that you can reach out to, just try to find one and connect. Another great thing about being single, and this is actually one of my favorites, and this kind of ties back to your social life, but it's a little bit different. This has to do with having more time to volunteer and get involved in more specialized hobbies, which I think when you talk about volunteering and giving back, that's a different type of fulfillment for your life. And if that's something that you always wanted to do, I definitely encourage you, if you're single or if you're in a relationship, to get out there and volunteer and see what's out there. I feel like, when you're volunteering and you're working sometimes to bring happiness and joy into other people's lives, to a degree, it can take away maybe some of the loneliness or pain that you might be feeling. You never know who you might meet, when you're volunteering. And with that said, with these examples I gave you, keep in mind that if you're living as a single fulfilling life, you never know who you might meet when you're out there doing what you want to do. And the last thing that I do want to say about, one of the great things about being single, and this one I think is so important, you have the time to invest in yourself. People take that for granted a lot. And I hear people in relationships sometimes, one of their regrets is not taking the time to find out what they like or fulfilling certain dreams or putting effort into their career. And now they really can't do it like they want to because they have to think about this other person. So as a single person, do not take that for granted. If you're single and you're not, working in the field you want to do, you haven't accomplish some of your goals, like you still have a lot that you need to do to feel successful or happy as a person, you need to get the move in and get your life together and start working on yourself and invest in you. Because honestly, the most important relationship you will ever have is the relationship with yourself. And so when you connect with someone, when you finally do get in a relationship, you want to be already as fulfilled and happy as you can be, so that you're not constantly relying on this other person for your happiness. I think when you do that, that's really selfish, because a person can't necessarily make you happy. They can bring happiness to your life, but the job of being happy, it's on you. That's your job. And so I really want single people to be encouraged. It kind of gets under my skin when people say, oh, I'm single, I'm so bored, there's nothing to do, I need somebody. I mean, man, if you're boring by yourself, chances are you're going to be boring in a relationship, because it looks like you're a boring person. And I get it. I get it. Sometimes things are better when you're in a relationship. Sometimes you want to go out to dinner with someone. Sometimes you want to sit in the house and watch a movie and cuddle with someone. I get that. But if you're unable to do those things, then you have to find other things in your life that are fulfilling. Because think about it. If you were in a relationship, and let's say you had a man or a woman and they worked a lot, or they just couldn't spend all the time they wanted to with you, what would you do in that instance? You would have to find a way to entertain yourself and keep yourself fulfilled. So it doesn't matter if you're single or in a relationship, you always have to take care of yourself. You always have to find a way to make your life happy and fulfilling. So from here on out, I want the single people that are watching this video to just start to reframe your mind about being single, and how it really can enhance your life. You have the world at your fingertips. You can do what you want to do. You can move freely. Don't take that for granted, because there may become a time when you don't have it. And then you'll realize how important it was. So don't be that person. Enjoy what you have now. So if you enjoyed this video, if you agree, if you disagree, leave some comments, share with me your perspective, what you think, share with me some ways that you enhance your life by being single. I love to hear them. I love to read the comments. If you haven't already, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching my video. I'll see you guys later.